Our last two series focus on the mind, the body, and the soul.
It is so important that we take care of ourselves to accomplish the pathways and goals we are setting for ourselves. The following 4 presenters will show us some ways to do this. This next speaker brings new meaning to pulling yourself up.
Like off the couch?
Yeah, and so much more.
Hello students, I'm Frank Sagona, and I am the current Guinness World Record holder for chin-ups in 1 hour, 1,009, 8 hours, 3,751, 12 hours, 4,649, and 24 hours, 5,094. On Halloween, I currently broke the 6-hour pull-up world record holder, 4,049. I also, before COVID, applied for the world record for most hugs given by an individual in 1 hour. Yes, I am working hard on that record too. And also, I am a proud stay-at-home father of 4 beautiful children. I'm 42 years old, which means I have lived 3 of your lives. What I want to get into right now is the first part of that life, which is where you're at now. And that was pretty easy because I wasn't exposed to anything. It was just a good family life, go to school, play sports, and come home. It just felt too normal. And then came high school, where you need to grow up a little bit more and have more responsibilities. And I dumped those out the window and decided I needed to decorate myself in nothing but outer layers. And the best way to get attention from me was to use alcohol, drugs, and get in fights. Those are obviously the wrong things, but in my young mind then, I thought it was right and it would get me to the top of where I needed to go. And in reality, it put me to the bottom of the barrel, jail, which is where you're gonna end up if you do the wrong things. It's self-explanatory. You have to fight yourself mentally to get past that. It was in jail I realized I needed to start doing something better, do the right things. I didn't fit in with everybody there. So once I got out, I met my wife, we had our first child, and it was like a flood of information of how I was raised coming into me from what my parents had taught me. And I started living life that way. But the way to begin that way was by dropping my ego and all those outer layers I thought would make me somebody, and start from nothing inside my home and build from that. Now, part 3, the fun part, where all the work paying off makes you become a world champion. These are the values I use to become a world champion. Number 1, you have to be a good person and do for others. You have to be willing to learn in life, for life. You need discipline, consistency, a healthy diet. You have to eliminate cutting corners. It gets you nowhere. Sometimes the long path is the best path. Focus is so important. I believe I am where I am today because of the fact that I've never had a cell phone. Now, I'm not telling you to ditch the cell phone and nobody ever use it, but at certain times in days, important time in the day, put it down. Focus on yourself. Let your brain tell you what to do. Nobody else, no outside influences. Those are very important keys to bring strength. It's not where you're at, it's where you start. You don't want to resort back ever. You want to keep moving forward. He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. What choice are you going to make? So, I challenge you to push yourself through, pull yourself above anything that's in your way, no matter what it might be. It doesn't have to be push-ups or pull-ups. Whatever it is in your life, you grab it by the horns and take hold.
Hey, where are you going?
To the gym. Do you know the #1 health crisis affecting teens today?
Mental health, and it needs to be addressed and brought out safely so we can help heal.
COVID has created a great deal of challenges, and this next piece has some great advice.
Hi everybody, I'm Robyn. I'm a licensed professional counselor and the school liaison with Health Solutions, our local community mental health center here in Pueblo. As we are all having to adjust to life in this remote way of being, I'd like to share some ideas with you around mindful self-care that you can practice during this time. Just like your physical health, it is important to take care of your mental health too. When you have an injury, you pay special attention to it and you dedicate your time to healing. The same goes for our emotions and our minds, as we also need to take the time to nurture and show kindness to the many different parts of ourselves. Self-care is a practice, and I say a practice because it will not be something to perfect or an end goal. It is a skill that we build as we move through life, especially if we use it every day. Self-care decreases our feelings of stress and worry. It increases our senses of health and well-being, and it helps us be more open and responsive to others and to what is arising in the present moment. If this is your first time thinking about self-care, think of it like training a puppy. Just like you would be kind, loving, patient, and curious with a puppy, you yourself deserve the same treatment. No one has all of the answers, and no one will ever be perfect. We are all human, meaning we will all make multitudes of mistakes throughout our lives, though we are in this journey together. When we focus on taking better care of ourselves, it will not only bring us more joy, but it will radiate out to others as well. Ultimately, we are the only ones responsible for our happiness and health, and it can be hard sometimes to be kind to ourselves. There is a lot of judgment and pressure that we constantly feel from the outside world, so why not give yourself the gift of kindness from the inside out? Self-care is about just that, honoring who you are while loving and taking care of yourself in the ways you deserve. We are living in unprecedented and unpredictable times, full of uncertainty. Like me, you might be feeling out of balance, anxious, worried about your safety, your friends, your family, and how this future might look in the next normal. You may be feeling disconnected from people and activities that you love. It can be very uncomfortable in this place of not knowing, and you're not alone. Sometimes the unknown is a gift, and while it can be scary to not know what happens next, that can also mean that there is room for possibility, for creativity, and time to focus on what really matters to us. As we navigate these uncharted waters together, here are some ideas to help increase your senses of self-care, creativity, balance, and connection. Amazon has an audiobook app called Audible, and they offer a free trial. You're able to download at least a couple of books during that trial, and even if you cancel it, you can keep those books in your account. There is one book in particular that I think would be beneficial for those of you who experience anxiety. It's called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It is meant as a guide for day-to-day living, helps us navigate stress, and realize the importance of being in the moment. It also has a journal that you can keep while reading it, though you can use a journal without having this book. Journaling is another powerful tool for self-care. Putting your thoughts onto something external gives you clarity about why you might be feeling a certain way and ultimately helps you get to know yourself better. Creating a vision board is another excellent idea to help you feel motivated. Using pictures or words, you essentially piece together your goals, inspirations, and even self-affirmations or mantras into one collage. It can be on an actual board or a piece of paper, even your mirror, some place that you look at every day and can be reminded of what drives you and makes you, you. One affirmation or positive self-talk technique in particular that I like to use is replacing the word should with could. Try it in any circumstance in your everyday life and inner dialogue. The word should often makes us feel like we're not good enough or brings on a sense of guilt. Though by replacing it with the word could, you'll find it takes away the feelings of judgment and pressure, and instead, you open up possibility and space to do something differently without feeling bad about yourself or a situation. Seriously, try it. It's awesome for our psyche. If you're more of a task-oriented person, try making yourself a daily schedule and writing it down so you can feel that sense of normalcy and having a routine to follow. Some of us may feel out of balance without our normal routines, so creating one for yourself will nurture your needs for security and predictability. It's also good for your self-care to get your body moving. So taking walks outside or taking pictures of things in nature are also ways of nourishing your soul and increasing your sense of gratitude for the beauty that is existing all around us at any given moment. If you really want to dive deep into your self-care journey, one of my favorite self-care websites to help you do this is socialwork.buffalo.edu. There you will find in-depth materials about how to make a self-care plan, different books, images, and quotes that will inspire you, and many resources about mindfulness, meditation, journaling, and ways to stay connected with others. Another website that I recommend for anyone who's interested in exploring mindfulness and meditation is tarabrock.com. It's spelled Tarabrach. She is an excellent teacher with a wealth of knowledge about self-acceptance, compassion, social justice, and boundaries. I'll say this about boundaries. Creating and keeping them are key for self-care. Say no when you mean no, and continuously assess what you are willing to allow in your life. If someone or something is not serving you in positive or safe ways, give yourself permission to let it go. If you ever feel like things have become overwhelming and you think you might need help, please reach out to someone you know who will be a good support to you. Or if you'd be more comfortable talking with someone who is objective, you can call the Colorado Crisis Hotline or to our local crisis team at Health Solutions. And you can also text MHFA to 741-741. All of these resources have people available 24/7 who are there to listen and support you and who are able to resource you to professional counseling if needed. Those numbers are 1-844-493-8255, 719-545-2746, or 741-741. Times may be uncertain, but if you can navigate through the discomfort, you will find so much possibility. Being quarantined at home has freed up time to focus on yourself and what is important to you. Try to dedicate this time to take care of your mind and body, spark your creativity, and take a step towards balance.
Be good to you.
And be good to you.
Are you the best version of yourself?
What do you mean?
Do you push yourself enough to be your best?
Paul Andrada can show you how.
I own this gym here called Fast, okay? Let me tell you the story behind it. All right, I accepted a job as an assistant coach at Pueblo East High School for football in 2007. Fast forward to make a long story short, as I'm coaching, my first year we thought we were going to change the world. We went 0-10. Kids wanted to get better. I wanted to get better. One of the only things that I knew at that time was weights, fitness. You know, I used to do it myself. I practiced what I preached, and a lot of kids bought in. They wanted to come do extra with me. I said, let's go. We'd do it on weekends. We'd do it on evenings. And those kids that decided to go ahead and take that extra step, the next year were all conference, all state. You know, a lot of success. Our program went to state 6-4 that year, the following year. So a light clicked in my head, hey, this is maybe something that needs to be done more often. Well, obviously a light clicked in a lot of the kids' heads too. So the more and more kids wanted to do the training with me, the extra with me, and it kind of became part of our culture at East High School. One of the parents that I was training in 2010 said, Coach, don't you think it's time you got yourself a gym? Because I had 20, 30 kids lifting and working out with me from all sports too, not just football, from all sports. East High School was bought in. They're bringing their little brothers and sisters too. So anyway, I was fortunate enough to meet Greg and Gretchen Rode. They own TR Toppers here in town. And they're the ones that helped me get started, me and my wife. We bought a building. We built our clientele. We bought more and more equipment. Fast forward to 2014, lots of East High School kids are starting to come in there. Girls softball wins state, boys football wins state, boys basketball wins state. And guess what? It caught on after that. A lot of people thought it was me. A lot of people thought it was my gym. A lot of people thought it was East. Well, let me tell you what it was. It was the kids and their sacrifice and their dedication. What they were doing when nobody was watching. Yeah, we seen them hold the trophies at the end. Yeah, we thought it was they're great, they're this and that, and they were. But what people didn't see was at 5:30 and 6 a.m., They were waking up, getting themselves to the gym to do extra, to get an edge on everybody. Well, the secret's out now because I have over 500 to 600 kids from every school here in town. You know, I've got over 75 to 100 kids that I've helped get scholarships. And when I say helped, I'm saying I was a small piece. They came to my gym, they trained with me, and they went on and were able to get some of their school paid. And in a lot of cases, their full school paid for. My son happens to be one of them. He's at BYU right now on a full ride, football and track. He was fortunate enough to be able to see these kids as a youngin'. He saw what it took, and so he had an advantage. He knew what it was going to take, and he took full advantage of it. 7-time state champion here in town. 2 in football, 5 in track. You know, I think he's the most decorated athlete in Pueblo's history. You know, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because it's the truth, and I'm saying that once you put your mind to something, you can do it. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I am very, very fortunate to be a small piece of these kids' lives. The kids that want it. The kids that want to come be the best version of themselves. And I love being a part of that. It's kept me here in Pueblo, actually, because I love our community and I love what's going on. We're on our way up. We've caught on to what they were doing up north, and we aren't going to slow down. I promise you that. So my challenge to you guys is this. Whether or not you go to a track, whether you go to your own gym, wherever you go, I want you guys to challenge yourselves to do this for me. Get sore. All right? What I mean by that is push yourself so when you wake up the next day you're sore. Whether it be push-ups, squats, lunges, running, whatever it may be, get sore at least 3 times a week. If you could get sore 3 times a week, I promise you're going to see some results. It ain't where you start, it's where you finish. And me, I'm talking to you today right here. I'm not finished. I still go every day. I'm 44 years old, and I still train like I'm 18 years old. I want to be the best version of myself, and I'm hoping that I can inspire at least a couple of you to be the best version of yourself. Trust me when I say this. There's a lot of opportunity out there. You could be whoever you want to be, especially at your age. So you might as well be the best version of yourself. From Coach Andrada at FAST, I hope to hear about your results. I hope to be a part of your journey. You know, whether or not you guys reach out to me on Instagram, wherever it may be. And I look forward to hearing from you.
I don't think we know enough about how successful we are in our communities.
You're right. Being our best self can't bring anything but good vibes.
I remember a quote I saw at the Center for American Values from Ronald Schur. That's like Paul's message. Treat every challenge life presents you with as an opportunity to learn and grow. There is more potential in you than you realize.
We need to remember there are many resources available in our communities that can help support us in reaching our goals.
Even a walk in the park or an outdoor activity like fishing or bike riding can clear the mind and strengthen the body, or if we're lucky, catch some fish as part of our omega intake for healthy eating.
Pathways to Success advice. Be true to yourself. You are who counts. It's your life.